Hey everyone, Archie here. Today we're cooking old-fashioned British chip shop chips cooked in beef dripping. Well, hi everyone. Thank you for joining me again. Welcome back. Today, only 2 ingredients, and there they are. Old-fashioned British chip shop chips cooked in beef dripping, or beef tallow if you live in America or Canada. And it's just quite simply beef fat. And it just is one of those amazing things. In the 70s, I was a young boy. On the way back from Cub Scouts, I would get a packet of these chips. They used to cost me 5 pence, 5 pennies. And they were the best thing ever. I think I used to look forward to the chips more than I look forward to the actual Cub Scouts. And I've got about 12 ounces of beef dripping. And I've got some gorgeous Maris Piper potatoes. Maris Piper potatoes are probably the most all-purpose potato in the UK. They are perfect for chips. And we're just cooking one portion of chips today. So let's get the potatoes peeled, and we're looking to recreate that same chip that my grandma used to cook. And I know there's nutritionists and dietitians and doctors out there telling us how unhealthy this is. But as my grandma used to say, a little bit doesn't do any harm. A little bit of what you fancy is good for you. Not a lot. What's the other one? Oh, everything in moderation, I guess that's the other one. And once I've peeled them, and you can leave the peel on, and some people love skinny fries, don't they? But we're making today, let's get this right, we're making old-fashioned British chips. Each potato is about the size of an apple. I'm going to cut each one into 3 slices, and then I'm going to cut each slice into 3 or 4 chips. The thickness of the chips are about 3/4 of an inch. That, for me, replicates a perfect British chip shop chip. As you can see, the length of the chip is the length of the potato. There you go. You can see exactly the size I'm looking for. That is a perfect size for a British chip shop chip. Now I want to de-starch these potatoes. You'll see the water is misty. We don't want that. That's the starch. If we take the starch away, they will cook more efficiently, more evenly, and we will get a perfect chip. So let's just give them a bit of a toss around with the hands. And now I'm going to run them under a cold tap for about a minute, and you'll see the water's running clear. Once it runs clear, that's it, job done. And now you can see the chips sitting in the water, and it's completely clear. Spot on. Right, pan on please. And in this case, it's a pan of hot boiling water that I've put just a little bit of salt in, just enough water to cook this one portion of chips. I'm going to cook them for 6 minutes exactly on a boil. And once they've boiled, let's just remove them, pop them on some kitchen towel, and they're going to cool down. Some people would chill them now. You can chill them if you like. I didn't bother, I just let them cool there. I popped a bit of extra kitchen towel on to dry them. I also just want to demonstrate they are 80% cooked. They're not quite cooked, but they're almost there. Let's melt our dripping, shall we? Something quite relaxing about watching the dripping just gently disintegrate into nothing. And within minutes or seconds even, it becomes a wonderful liquid. And the smell in the kitchen is just fabulous. Reminds me of my childhood. I want the dripping to warm up to 130 degrees centigrade, about 250 to 260 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the temperature I need to continue the cooking process. This is going to be stage 1. We're just going to colour the chips now. Once it's reached 130, let's get the chips in. And this is going to take 4 to 5 minutes. And we need to make sure our dripping is at a temperature of about 120 degrees. So I would say a medium flame. If they get too brown too quick, they won't be right. This is a 2-stage cooking process. Once those chips are starting to turn, well, I suppose yellow, not so much brown, you can see I'm trying to keep it around about 120 degrees Fahrenheit, centigrade rather, sorry. And after they've had about 5 minutes, we can then fish them out. You can see that they're no longer pearly white, they're just starting to turn yellow. So fish them out, pop them on some kitchen roll, and this time I want to get them completely cool. So I'm going to pop these in my fridge for around about 20 minutes to half an hour. And please, let's get every chip out, that's so valuable. They're going to go in the fridge for 20 minutes to half an hour. I'm going to make sure my beef dripping now, I want it at 180 to 190 degrees centigrade, which is about 355 to 365 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it reaches that temperature, we can then take our chips out of the fridge and we can do the last stage. As you can see, I'm approaching about 190 degrees centigrade. And I'm sorry I'm in centigrade today. That would be about 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it's there, let's get the chips back in and you will see the sizzle, and you will note that in about, I don't know, it took me about 2.5 to 3 minutes for them to turn a beautiful shade of brown. And yes, we are cooking something very important here. This is the foundation of a nation of yesteryear. British chips cooked in beef dripping. We want them just golden brown. So as I said, they're looking 3 to 4 minutes in that hot fat. I mean, on a high flame, by the way. And I promise you, every little bit of effort, every little bit of concentration will be worth it. I mean, look at that. Look at those. Don't you think they look perfect? Aren't they the chips you want on your plate? Let's just sprinkle them with some salt, shall we? Oh, absolutely fabulous. I can see that my childhood's coming back to me. Let's just see if they're cooked rather nicely. Let's just give them a bit of a squeeze just to demonstrate how soft they are. Perfection. And I'm just going to break one. I want you to see how wonderfully fluffy they are in the middle. I mean, look at that. I mean, some of you aren't going to dip them in ketchup, mayo, a bit of vinegar. Oh, my God, they're just amazing. Those there are old-fashioned British chips cooked in beef dripping, everybody. And please, as usual, subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to smash the like button. If you cook them, let me know how you feel about them in the comments below and tell your friends. I mean, look at those, they're my chips. I'm going to get stuck in. Every single one is for me. I'll see you guys very, very soon.